What's up, everyone? Welcome to the Clutch. Shane, what can I say about Shane, man? He's making a lot of noise in the background, so I guess I'll just bring him on. I was gonna try to say that you tried to evade the debate, that you wanted nothing to do with it, that you were afraid. Man wouldn't let me have it. He had to puff on his little puffer.
Man, I can make $1 million if I knew how to make these silent, man. You know what I mean?
Right?
Like that's my next adventure.
That's all I could hear in your podcast for your 15 minutes lane was.
Oh yeah. Hey, especially when I come out to the snake room, it's like habit for me to do it in here, you know? So it's like
right. That's golden. I love it. So Shane, man, we've been going at it for not going at it. You've been going at it. I'm slowly trying to push myself as the weeks go on with this 15 minutes of lame contest. How long have you been in the industry or around the industry?
It's been a year and 5 months.
A year and 5 months. All right.
Yeah. So it was July of 2019 is like when I made the logo and started my branding campaign in general.
Did you do any keeping before that, or was it just, all right, I'm going to do this. I want to breed. I saw this. Let's fucking jump in full steam, or was it a gradual process?
So in April of 2019, I got a genetic stripe female because
you and
wait. All right. So wait. So I got a genetic stripe female, and then I ended up getting a male. I wanted to breed them, and then it progressed super quick from there. But like before that, like in from 2000 to 2004, I had a whole bunch of reptiles, but I had like one of everything. Like I had a albino Burmese, a red-tailed boa, a beardy, I had a leopard gecko, different king snakes. So at that time, like I didn't get a whole bunch over like a couple months like I did this time, but like I slowly got up this giant collection. And then once I got so big, I was like, man, I can't even breed anything because I only have one of every single thing, you know? So then like in 2004, I went through some personal drama in my life. I got rid of all that collection. And then I had a mental note, like next time I start gathering up reptiles, I'm going to get stuff so I could breed them. And then fast forward to 2019, 15 years later. But like ball pythons had blown up in that 15 years, and I wasn't even really aware of it, you know?
That's awesome.
So, yeah, like I used to subscribe back then when I had a bunch of reptiles in the early 2000s. I used to subscribe to the actual Reptiles magazine, you know?
Right.
And so I'd get the monthly issues and all that. And like genetic stripes, I always wanted a genetic stripe back then, but they were pretty pricey, you know? So then like fast forward to 2019, I took a job where I'd be home every night, and I was like, yeah, it's time to get a snake. And then I started browsing around. I seen the genetic stripe on. I was like, wow, man, they are so cheap now. I'm getting one right now. And then, yeah, that's what started it all. And
you got your dream snake to start off. That's freaking amazing.
Yeah, man. So I've always been a genetic stripe lover. So yeah.
Well, we know how hard you go with it. I see I want G-stripe clowns everywhere.
Yeah.
And then your name's right behind it, or someone's talking about how much you love it. So,
and you know what? Funny story, man. I kind of got ridiculed in the beginning. Everyone kind of like all the more experienced people, which was everyone over me, but they anything to do with genetic stripes, a dead end. That you're just going to lose your money, lose your time, and then it takes like Ozzy and Justin dropping a few bombs with them, and then they like blow up. And I was like, see, I was right the whole time, you know.
It's the way it happens.
Yeah.
Oh man, we got everyone showing up. I think our whole collusion is showing up. Everyone.
Hi, everyone.
This is great. I think they're worried about what I'm going to say behind their backs. That might be it. I don't know.
So can I interview the interviewer?
I mean, you're welcome to ask me whatever you want. I might not answer it, but no, I'm just kidding. I don't have.
So how long have you been going right now? Like building your collection and everything?
Building, I started again in 2018.
Okay.
Or no, I'm sorry. So I started with my red tail again, December of 2017. I started buying ball pythons for the intent of breeding. and this is all babies. Like everything here, I've grown up. I haven't brought in anything over like 400 grams, except for I think 2 or 3 where I was finally like, look, it's taken a little bit longer than I want to. I got to see if I can do this or not. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But my entire collection is from like 200, 300 gram babies and working them all the way up to adults. So
right on. So I got a fun fact that I never told. Well, I might have said it to somebody, but I know I've never told you. So when I was after I got that genetic stripe, I was listening to like true crime podcast, right? So then when I got into reptiles, I found Ball, Shit, and Snakes and the Fat Man, right? So then I listened to all those and I ran out and I was like re-listening to them and stuff. And then my kids turned me on to YouTube, man. And I stumbled across like what was going to become Reptiles Unplugged, but it was the 3 of you guys, and you guys would hop from channel to channel. And then like I found the Sean Bradley interview. I was listening to Bullshit, so I went over and found the Sean Bradley interview. And then that turned me on to the 3 of you guys. So how did that come about with you guys starting that?
Me, Joel, and Adam, just like we all enjoyed each other's company. Like we've been to multiple super shows out in California together. I actually visited Adam 2 years ago for his birthday. Like this is back when I was a truck driver. Dropped off the load that I had to drop out in California. I drove up 2 hours to Ventura, had dinner with him for his birthday, and then drove up to Cusco's after dinner with him on his birthday, just so I could spend time with him. But we've been friends since the start, and I reached out to Sean Bradley, and this is when I barely knew him, but I was like, dude has a podcast, he can talk, he knows all this information. Like I've been listening to bullshit for I don't know how long. Yeah. And so I reached out to him and he said yes, like instantly. And I was like, well, fuck, I don't even know where to go with this. I didn't expect him to say yes.
Yeah.
So I instantly get on with Joel and Adam. And I'm like, hey, I need you guys' help. I need some co-mentors here. Yeah. I need some co-hosts over here because there's no way my brain, especially with me, like you see me, I drink every interview I do. It's what keeps me loose. And the amount of information that man's forgotten versus the amount that I knew at the time, I didn't even let myself drink. I had like half a beer in that interview.
Yeah.
And so by like the end of it, you just see us all dragging. And we're like, I think we forgot more of the information than we retained from that interview. And we've had to go back and watch it just to hold on to the storyline. But that's how it all played out, man. I asked for help, and then they helped, and we went through 5 hours of just getting our mind fucking melted.
Yeah.
And yeah, we kind of went our separate ways. I went through like a dark path, and they started their podcast, which I fucking love. I'm proud of what they've done, man. Like I think the idea kind of came together with us, but they really took it and ran with it. And then I went my own way. So it is what it is. We still love each other. We talk to each other all the time. It's just, we have different ideas of how we want to do things.
Yeah. That's how I first found out who you were. And then I started, obviously I started watching your channel. And so then I was on the Reptiles Unplugged thing from the beginning, like when they actually made it like its own channel and stuff. But that's actually a family event over here at my house, like Wednesday nights, man, like the kids and the wife and everyone.
Hell yeah.
All the other stuff I consume, they don't watch, but they do watch Reptiles Unplugged.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I freaking love it.
So
well, they better be watching tonight. And if they're not, I guess I get to badmouth their dad and they'll never know.
Yeah, they got their friends over there playing, I don't know, some kind of video, Fortnite or something. I don't know.
I don't know. So what's your overall goal right now? Like, what are you looking genetic wise to do, or where's your limit within a collection? Like, where do you want small town to be? So
I'm kind of staying liquid and just I'm I'm water. I run by Bruce Lee's philosophy, be water all the time. So like I just go with it and just kind of see where where it takes me. Obviously my long-term goal is like right now I'm building up double het G-stripe clowns. So like that's my ultimate long-term goal. What's pretty cool in my opinion on that project is a lot of the byproducts are going to be like genetic stripes and clowns, you know? So, and then obviously I have to have genetic stripes and clowns here. So I'm working clowns, and like the Batmans I made this year, they weren't to make Batmans. They were to make Batmans for the genetic stripe clown project, you know, to put that whole thing over in there and stuff. So that's like my way long-term goal, you know, but in the meantime, it's just having fun and making cool combos and stuff and just trying stuff out. Like I like to go on and research stuff a little bit on Morph Market and see if like some of these things have ever been paired up before, you know, and if they haven't, then I'll just put things together. That's kind of what my thing is. And yeah,
that's a smart way to do it, man.
I'm hoping that this will pad the retirement. That's like the long-term goal. Like once I retire from my normal job, that this will be supplemental income. I'll be able to do something I love. It's already self-supporting. And then by that time, I could actually take some of the profits and like go on vacation or something. I don't know.
That's freaking awesome, man.
Yeah.
Within a year, you got self-supporting. That's freaking awesome.
Yeah, I haven't put any of our personal money into this, and I don't even know. It's been a while though. So like snakes, they feed themselves now at this point, and then like they bought this new Freedom Breeder rack. Yeah. So.
Nice.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, dude. So why do you deserve to be the 2-hour episode? I know what everyone's waiting for. They're waiting for us to debate. They're waiting for us to fight. Jeremy's going to be in the comments talking shit, trying to say it's not over till it's over. Hey, you got 2 weeks, Jeremy. You better do some work.
Hey, man, Jeremy's like a brother because he's going G-stripe puzzles, which, I mean, I'm waiting for him to like hit the double visual to see if I like it, but that's the direction I'm going to go too. I want to put G-stripe and everything, so. He's like a brother, in my opinion. But why do I deserve to be? I don't know, man. Yeah, that's a good question. I do have a good story, but I don't know, man. I don't know.
You're just gonna kill it right there. Look at
this all right, like, man. Because
I let you on my channel after being a fanboy for a fucking year and a half. No, I'm just kidding.
Well, so. That's part of the story, man. If you want to hear like the details on how I got to whatever position I'm in today, I'm still just in the small.
I just want to know why you think you deserve the 2 hours.
Because I got a 2-hour story to tell.
Do you? You stopped after 5 minutes here.
Well, I mean, I got to save something for the Snakes and the Fat Man podcast, you know?
So what all do you work with right now, Shane? Is it...
So I like recessives. So recessive wise, I got pieds, clowns, genetic stripes, obviously. And then I do have puzzles growing up, a puzzle project. I do have sunsets growing up. I do have hypos and desert ghosts growing up. So I got a handful of recessives going. Give us a sneak peek. Oh, well, you know. What do you want to hear? Like the time I would like.
We're gonna make you struggle
related. I got a cool life story, man. Like being shot and stabbed and I died.
Okay, you live in California. Everyone gets shot and stabbed out there.
Well, that's true. That's true. Yeah. I have
especially Bakersfield, man. Like that's. There's nothing else to do out there.
You know, I got a cool life story, but. I could keep it to reptiles. I get a lot of questions in my inbox about how to brand yourself and all that stuff, and I don't even really know the answers to those questions. How do you brand yourself, Feely? I found you from Sean Bradley.
You know how I brand myself?
Yeah,
I brand myself by reaching out to others and just supporting others. Like honestly, what has grown this YouTube more than my personality, because my personality fucking sucks. I'm a nice guy, but my personality sucks. I'm not super charismatic or anything like that, but I reach out to people. I'm not afraid to talk to people. And it's like most of my videos, especially recently, has been more about giving back to other people and like showcasing them versus letting everything about myself out, which I need to get better about. Like, it's just, if you've, well, I mean, you got 8 kids, you understand. Once one of them goes into a rampage, they all go into a rampage, and it's just like, there's a fucking tornado in the house, and
oh yeah,
damn near impossible to record when that's happening. So most of the stuff that people see from my house is filmed at like 10 to 11 o'clock at night, and then it's edited from 12 to 1 and then uploaded to YouTube. So
yeah.
it's rough, man. Like,
So what?
that's life.
How would you rate your overall YouTube experience? Has it helped you just overall in life, or do you find?
I would say it's brought me out of my shell a lot more. Like, without YouTube and without the snakes and the community that I've built outside of or from YouTube, because before I got on YouTube and I started doing all my videos and dealing with everything, I didn't have anyone around me. Like, it was just me getting out of the army, dealing with my PTSD, like just closing down, you know what I mean? And the YouTube then opened up the wide world of reptiles to me. Like, I knew it was there, but I never knew how to reach out to people in there. Like, my friend back when I was a kid brought me into it. Like, I'd been to, I think it was a Repticon. Like, I think that's the only thing that was around as far as shows, fucking almost 20 years ago now. So I did my first Repticon, like, I think it was Phoenix or something like that. And went to that show, and the actual community aspect of it just kind of fell back. I was a kid. I didn't know anything about that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then I just worked at a pet store, and I started dealing with reptiles my whole life. Or like when I got into the army, I'd be wherever the local pet store was, or I'd be at people that I've talked to that had reptiles, and I'd help them with their reptiles. Or when I was deployed, anytime a fucking snake would come into the tent or anything like that, they'd be like, Feely, you're the one that has to get it, because we ain't touching the motherfucker. So I'm like, I'm throwing sidewinders and shit out of a tent with the butt of a fucking M4. It's awesome.
Yeah.
But it's always been my life. Like, I grew up around reptiles. I enjoyed reptiles, and that was my thing. Like, that's my therapy. And then YouTube brought out the community aspect, and it kind of pulled me out of my PTSD and my inability to talk to people. So that's what it's really done for me. I like to think that I bring a wide variety of people on, at least to the point where everyone's getting a little bit of knowledge depending on what your level is. Like, I feel like on my channel, you can learn history, you can learn beginners skills, intermediate skills, advanced skills. It just all depends on who's on or what I'm doing. Like, I try to do stuff at all levels, but it's an intertwining web that I'm not very good at weaving yet. We'll figure it out.
No, I say you do a good job. And then you got your thing going with DTG and stuff now.
Yep. So that's going to focus more on history, just because we have a lot of people that are getting a little bit up there, or their health is starting to decline a little bit. Like, I think this year we lost at least 2 that I know of that were legends in the industry, and you now have stories that'll never come out again, or information that'll never come out again, because there's no one to pass that on.
Yeah. No, I agree. That stuff's important. That's the kind of stuff I watch on YouTube. I like to learn about the history and the old school stuff. I know they're not, I mean, some of those aren't like blockbusters. You're not getting millions of views, but it's important to have it on there and for people to view later on. You know, I mean, 10 years down the road or whatever, you know, it's just important to document.
Well, I mean, that's kind of like the thing that we were talking about when we did it too, was we need those, the hell are they called? It starts with an A. See, I have a college education. I don't know how to use it though. Fuck. That's not the word. anyways.
Well, you had two of my buddies on there. You had Ron from BBM and Peter
And
Snakes.
Peter.
Yeah.
Peter's a longtime supporter, man. Like he's been here since I started this channel.
Oh yeah.
Granted, Peter's everywhere. Like Peter's almost as bad as you. If you see something reptile related, his name's probably on it somewhere. Yeah. Even though he wants to breed the desert gene. But hey, I love the dude. I'll never fucking fault him. Is what it is. But Peter is literally everywhere.
He's hardcore, man. He's hardcore.
So I think that's why people reach out to you too. Is it's not necessarily that you're the best at branding, though you do a great job. I'm not trying to knock your style at all. Like I love it. Yeah. I love it. Like everything you do is like an old school fucking wrestling promo. It's great. But I think it's your ability to be everywhere that people underestimate. Like I could tell you with this competition that we've been doing, I have literally been watching everything so much. Like my time on my iPhone, you know how it keeps track? Yeah. Has damn near doubled per day because of you. Because I'm like, oh, he posted here, I got to post. Oh, I got to post here. Oh, I got to do this. But you just pump it out, man. How much time do you think you divulge per day just into advertising and marketing yourself?
Man, if you go off those screen time things, so every time I'm on my phone, it has something to do with small town exotics. I guarantee you that. And I'm doing like 7-8 hours a day. So it's a full-time job. Mm. But it's not 7 or 8 hours straight. You know, I'm like little chunks, you know, because I still got a normal life outside of reptiles, you know. But yeah, it's a lot, man. Honestly. Mm. I don't like it when it sends me that weekly screen report. I'm like, oh man, you know.
I get it daily. It's bad. Like, it'll say especially when this started, it was like my daily average is probably about 3-4 hours because I'll look through pictures and I'll do stuff like that. And then we started this contest and my shit's at like 8 hours a day. And my wife's like, you gonna do anything besides be on your phone today? I was like, no, I gotta fucking beat Shane.
No, I want to say that the whole thing is it's been a good experience. Like just our group. I think we came closer as a group, you know, obviously. And yeah, I mean, I just like the whole little chat we got going with Chris over there and keep it friendly and keep it fun. And I've been having fun with it because like just having fun, you know?
Well, so Jeremy's been around a long time too, like as far as my channel, and and this is a fault of my own. Like I should have reached out more. Like we've talked a couple times, but it's never been like that daily, hey, how you doing? What's going on in your life type thing, you know? Yeah. So it's nice to have that small group of people that you do that with on a daily, just because of this contest. Like I enjoy it.
Well, I would like to say like 5 years from now, no matter who wins or loses or whatever, if we run into each other at a show, that's our common thread and our common bond. You know what I mean? Right. We'll have a special conversation just because of this competition for Snakes and the Fat Man, you know? I think, but for me, like the whole social media thing in general, like I'm naturally a recluse, but I knew my wife wasn't going to do it, even though she's like my partner. She doesn't even want to be on camera or anything. So I was like, all right, the weight of all this is on me. I got to do it. And so it's made me break out of my shell. Because, you know, like...
I was going to say, like, I literally want to call bullshit on you right now. But...
It's serious. Hey,
to be fair, the best YouTubers are literally recluses.
Hey, if you go back and watch the first couple of videos I ever did, man, those were so painful. And it took me, like, days, bro. It took me... Like, you know how, like, you're just sitting there talking to a camera lens. And I'm like, this feels so... unnatural.
My first one was literally like me holding my boa and fucking laying across my bed like this, talking about what I wanted to do with my channel. Like, yeah, how fucking cringy is that fucking shit? No lighting, like it looks like I'm trying to set the mood with my fucking boa and tell you what this channel is about. Like, it is so bad.
But like you said earlier, man, this community is great. Like the whole social media opens up the community, and I felt nothing but support. I mean, there's been some haters, but I don't even give them the time of day. I just keep on rolling and leave them behind. You know what I mean?
I like to play with them. That may be my downfall. I like to play with them.
Well, I really do like to troll. I mean, that was one of my past hobbies, and but like I can't do that under the small town Xotics name. I got to keep it real. So,
yeah. I'm going to start beef, and it may not be between us. If you had one person that you could start some shit with in our contest right now, who would it be? Because they're all watching, so it's going to come out.
Man, I don't even give people.
He's going to avoid this question, guys. He's going to play politics and avoid this shit.
Yeah, but why are you going to give anybody any screen time or name? You know what I mean? That's why I don't even respond to negative stuff. Why give them the time of day? Love it. I know from being a troll in the past, that's what they want. You know what I mean? That's what they're getting. So you just don't feed into it, bro. You just keep rolling.
Oh, I'm not even talking about the haters. I'm talking about our contest.
I know, but I'm not even.
You're trying to avoid it so no one else gets their name out there. You got to give the little guys a chance, Shane.
I would say if I was rooting for anybody, I'd be rooting for Jamie Cadil. I want her to come out of her shell more. I think that, did I say her last name right? She's on here. Yeah. Did I say her last name right? All right. But anyways, I want her to come out of her shell more and like push a little bit harder. That's who I'm rooting for.
We'll get her there. I mean, she's actually talking on the chat now, so that's an improvement.
Well, I can't see nothing, so. But yeah. And I was pretty impressed with Jeremy jumping up above Corey. I mean,
Jeremy's been putting in some work. I do.
Yeah, I was like, man, he must have went to that show like 10% off. Vote 10% off.
There it is. There it is.
Hi, Jamie.
She probably voted for you.
I hope I didn't murder your last name. I was like Cadil, Cattle.
Did you just call her cattle? That is not right. You do not call a woman a cattle. What is wrong with you?
I heard Chris say it, and I was like, man, he could be right. Once you started looking at the name, I always thought it was Cadil, though, but I could be wrong. Cadile?
I don't know. I don't want to butcher it. You're doing better than me. So I'm going to say it's Cadil or Cadile.
All right.
Probably. We'll let her say that when she gets an opportunity.
So, yeah, I like messing with Corey, though. I mean, if I was going to... I like messing with her. She's good. And, yeah. Why? I mean, who would you have beef with? I don't have beef with people.
I don't necessarily have beef. I would like to see... I'd like to mess with Josh Strange a little bit, just to pull him out of his shell, see if I could get him riled up.
I concur.
Not necessarily to like start a beef, but just to get him to say something. The dude has an amazing storyline. Like, he almost died. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
shouldn't be here, and he's here.
And he grew up in the same town as Axl Rose, right?
Yeah. Like, the dude's got to have stories. Like, where is it? But he's just this humble, quiet guy, and I love that about him. But it drives me nuts at the same time.
Yeah. Well, you know, something that like I learned is there's a line that you gotta like be able to celebrate your victories without like overstepping too far. You know, and it's hard, man. It's hard. I don't like posting on my stories like when I reach an achievement, but it's like something that I feel obligated to do for the people that are following my journey, because that's what my whole YouTube and stories about. Like, watch me start from the beginning and just mess everything up or win or whatever I'm doing. You know, just follow me along and learn what to do or what not to do. I don't care, but you can
archive it, and that's the fucking word I was looking for earlier. And it's been bugging me that long. That's how long it took me to find that word. Oh, man. So what do you do outside of snakes?
Well, I go to college. I like personal stuff. So I work, you know, I have a 9 to 5. Most people know I had a shoulder surgery. So today was my first day back at work since August. So that was a little weird. I gotten used to staying home and doing whatever. But other than that, man, it's just all the family stuff and then work and small town exotics, man. That's why I get 8 hours of screen time every day. I'm still pushing. I'm not there yet. I don't know what there means, but I'm not there yet. You know what I mean?
Well, you got some great mentorship out there, man. Like, you didn't start in a place where you couldn't get mentorship. And I think that's the smart thing. Like, you've had hands-on, you've reached out, like, you almost instantly created a small group with the 4 horsemen where you guys literally sit there and mentor each other, which is amazing. Kind of, if you can, tell me about that journey. Like, what brought you guys together?
So that was, man, I love those 4 guys. So that was like, I was Rich from Predator BP. He's got a huge channel. He's closing in on Gavin numbers at this point. But I watched him from the beginning. Like, when I first started, like, with my genetic stripe and found YouTube and stuff, like, he hadn't had his channel that long. So I kind of just watched him go. And I would always be in the comments and stuff. And then once I started my YouTube channel, he showed up in my comments. And then we started messaging a little bit back and forth. I asked him YouTube questions. He was asking me Instagram questions, I believe. He invited me for like a collab on his channel. And then that turned into like another one with the other 2 guys that are part of the 4 horsemen. And I'm pretty sure, if I remember correctly, it was the Christmas episode last year that like made us the 4 horsemen. And then, yeah, we've been together ever since. We have a little chat room like the Snakes and the Fat Man one, and we talk every day in there. There's a bunch of time difference. Like, me and Ron talk because we're only 3 or 4 hours apart. But like, Rich is in England, Rob's in Malaysia. Malaysia's like, I don't know, 15 hours ahead. He lives in the future, so that's weird trying to time out conversations with him. But yeah, so it's really cool, man. And those are a good bunch of mentors because like everyone brings something different to the table. And that's what I like about it. Right. And Ron's probably like my best friend in the whole industry. You know what I mean? I could call him up and be like, man, that like such and such happened. What do I do? You know what I mean? If he doesn't know the answer, he knows somebody that does and points me in the right direction. That's the best thing you can ask for from a mentor. Like, he doesn't try to like fake like he knows it all. And he just tells me exactly what he knows. No sugarcoating. Here's the real deal. And if I don't know, here's the direction to go. You know what I mean?
That's the way it should be.
Yeah. So, yeah, and we're actually getting ready to do our Christmas episode for this year. So that's just how that all transpired. That was all Rich, though. So big shout out to Rich from Predator BP. He's the one that brought us all together. And, yeah. Rich has a great channel. In fact, like, when I sell snakes to people that have never owned snakes before, I refer them over to Rich's channel because he's got a whole bunch of great content for people that are just like never had a snake, don't know anything about anything, you know. He has a good way of explaining things in a simple manner and just making it easy to understand, you know. So
if you had the opportunity to kind of mentor under anyone, like get hands-on mentorship in their facility, who would you want it to be right now?
Well, since I was just there, I would say Justin. That dude's got, I mean, just watching him at work, watching him cut clutches and ID stuff. I mean, it was pretty cool there. Something that you didn't see on my video was like, there was a snake that had a dead yolk sac. So like, it wasn't going to absorb it or whatever. So he's like, hey, Shane, can you grab the scissors over there? So I went and grabbed the scissors and he like held it up and I cut it off and stuff. I was like, this is like ball python ER, man. But like, I was thinking, oh no, you got to tie it. But he was saying, cut it. Well, it was a dead yolk. So it wasn't like, it was dead. There wasn't any blood vessels.
There's nothing you could do. Right.
So yeah, I would like to do something with Justin or spend more time with Tony from Hardwired Exotics. Because he's pretty legit too, man. I mean, both those guys got a lot of knowledge. And, yeah.
Hell yeah.
Either one of those.
I think that's... And that gives you something to push for. You know what I mean? Like, I think that's one of the things I hate about living here. Not that I hate it. Like, I'm happy with what I have in life. But yeah. I just hate not having without getting on a plane or traveling in a car for hours upon hours. I just don't have people to reach out to like that. I've worked it, like, obviously at shows, I make my connections, I make friends, I go visit them, but it's a different experience, man. Like getting into someone's facility and getting to really look at stuff behind the scenes and how they've done it. And like Earl, for example, like Lone Star Reptiles, dude let me into his house and showed me how he does everything. And I've seen things that the public's probably not going to see for the next couple of years. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's just like the fact that I'm a nobody and I haven't done anything. He's trying to help me down my path. And I'm talking about moving up that way and possibly helping him out while I get myself self-sustaining. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And just the trust that's put in there, because you don't have to. Like, yeah, you kind of want to in some instances to try to build a customer base, but he doesn't need it. You know what I mean? Like the dude sells out every year. He's good, but just to have that trust with somebody, especially someone that's on YouTube, you know, and you could literally, if you were a piece of shit, not that I am, but you could literally ruin someone's fucking plans that way, which I pray to God no one ever does. But Earl's just a great guy, man. Like I really love that dude. I talk to him probably about once a week. I wish it was more, but
yeah. I got a call from him when I got bit from the beady lizard, and he schooled me before I got bit and after I got bit.
That was the first thing that we talked about when I got to his house. He's like, because I went into his venomous room and he was like, don't be a fucking Shane. There's rules, okay? Don't be like Shane and break literally every rule I tell you.
That's what I did too. He called me like 2 days before, and then when I came out, I was like, oh, I got this. Whatever.
It's just a baby. I'll be good.
No, that's something I'm really lucky being right here in California. Like Miguel is real close to me. So he helped mentor me like with the snake breeding stuff and social media stuff from the beginning. And then through the social media stuff, I've reached out to like Jimmy Cruz, who's close by me. And now I got a fairly good relationship with him. And I mean, Jimmy Cruz knows his stuff, man. I mean, He works at Freedom Breeder and does his own thing. I mean, he's got a ton of knowledge.
That's his life.
Ton of experience. I mean, I love Jimmy Cruz, man.
Jimmy saved me, to be honest. So, funny story about him. He's an OG, right?
Yeah.
And anyone that knows him knows his history isn't the nicest history. I left my fucking backpack behind his booth after I interviewed him. Like literally put my camera in there, put my fucking laptop. Like I probably had $3,000 worth of fucking equipment sitting behind his booth. And I went up to my room because I was just dead tired at this point and I didn't think about it. And I call him and he's like, dude, where are you at? I'll walk it to you right now.
Yeah.
I was like, you could have just said it's not there. But that's going into the community. You know what I mean? Like the people you make friends with and the people you care about and you give the time to, they're always going to take care of you.
Oh yeah.
And Jimmy's just been that guy. Like me and Jimmy bullshit probably once a month, or he'll post something on his Instagram and be like, hey, I'm going to take that snake. Or like when he posted that picture of his TV the other day, I was like, must be nice. I'm going to crash out there next time I'm in Cali. And he's like, whenever you want, come on.
Oh yeah.
But it's just the way they are.
Yeah, there's a solid reptile community in the Fresno area. And they have parties once a month. So like, as soon as I got it, like went up there and did my interview with Jimmy, like I was just invited in the crew, and that whole crew up there, man, nothing but love. Bob's Oddballs, Reptile Gems, there's a whole bunch of them, you know, and nothing but love from all those guys. And so, yeah, I've been able to call them. Jimmy helps me ID stuff. I mean, obviously I'm a noob, so I'm just like, I don't know what I got here.
So how many species are you working with? Because I know you said you kind of grabbed one of everything when you initially started, and now that you've come back, I know you got the ball pythons and the beaded lizard, obviously, but do you have anything else, or
Yeah,
are you just staying focused?
I got 6 Western Hognoses, 2 males and 4 females, and so I grew them all up from babies. And this is the first time I'm putting them down for Brew Mason, and hopefully I'll be breeding them once I pull them out. And yeah, so when I started collecting those, I just assumed it would be similar to ball pythons. I didn't know that they have the ability to double clutch and soon, Alyssa, soon. I was just there. Where were you? But anyway, so I didn't know that they could double clutch and all that stuff. So I stopped at 6, and I'm just gonna play around with them. That's obviously not gonna be my main focus, but Western Hognoses are pretty much the complete opposite of a ball python. I mean, they're like spunky. They all got their own little personalities, and they're trippy. They're fun to have and keep. And
that's my kryptonite, man.
Yeah,
Hognoses are my kryptonite. I have never kept one successfully. I get about a year in with each one, and I lose them for some reason. I don't know what it is.
Yeah, they're cool. I mean, they are a little bit more high maintenance. I didn't know that when I got in them, but
like I've followed what they say to a T. I don't know if it's just like the humidity in my room or what it is about what I'm doing. They don't do well here, and so I've given up on those. I've moved to king snakes. They're a little bit easier. Kind of the same patterns, you know what I mean? Like they're always on the hunt. They're active. They got a freaking attitude, but you still have to brew mate them because they're a colubrid. But
I would think Hognoses
they're easier to keep.
I would think Hognoses would do good for you because they're native in Texas,
right? You would think.
Yeah, that's weird.
Like I've got wild caught hognose on video.
Yeah,
but I can't keep them in my house. I don't know what it is.
Yeah, so when I got mine, they've been with the ball python room the whole time, 60% humidity and stuff. So then I get deeper into it. I order Kevin Rhodes' book, start reading it, and it's like, oh, don't keep them above 40. So like I message him, I'm like, hey man, am I messing my hognoses up? And I told him, my little story. And he's like, oh, well, if you raise them from hatchlings all the way up, they're probably good in there. You don't have to worry. But if somebody else, like if you bought an adult and brought it into that room, you would probably have problems, So now, yeah, my hognoses are high humidity hognoses because I keep them in the ball pythons. Everything's the same. I just don't have their hot spot as hot.
What would you call your dream reptile? Like if you could have one or just one, what would it be?
Man, so I want to say that I went to Primitive Reptile's house and got to hang out with his big monitor, and like holding that Asian water monitor, it was pretty big. It wasn't full adult, like it wasn't like full on stocky yet, but it was still fairly large. And just like hanging out with Dino and getting to hold him and stuff, man, that was like a spiritual experience to me, man. Yeah. Like I'm not used to like legs and stuff. It's just a total different. And like the way they flick their tongue, and it was just a total different experience, man. And so if I had the room, I would have some kind of big monitors of some sort. But I mean, Sky, the one who has Dino, sadly Dino passed away recently, so rest in peace, Dino. But that was a big part of Sky's life, the enclosure that he built, and that's a big commitment, man. Like, and varying the diet and stuff. And yeah, so that would be like my dream. Like if I had a facility big enough to have a couple of them and just be able to treat them all out and everything, that would probably be my dream.
Oh yeah, that's cool. Jeremy, I have one now. At least, yeah, I have one boa, but that's the only one that I work with. I probably won't bring in anything else. That's just going to be a family pet for the rest of her life. And, are you going to work with boas, or do you work? You don't work with boas, right?
I like boas, but I just don't want to diversify too much.
Right.
I want to.
No, it gets hard, man.
Yeah.
It gets hard. Like I keep I have 6 different species just in this room.
Yeah.
So it's hard. And granted, the room's set up predominantly for ball pythons, which is wrong, but the others can survive. And regardless of what people say, they do kind of acclimate to their surroundings, especially if they've been in it long enough.
Like my hognoses with the
right.
humidity. I mean,
Right.
they were raised in it, so they're good with it.
But it's just, I love them. My wife is finally getting to the point where she is not scared of the one that we have, and the one that we have 6 years old. So she's not big, but she's not small. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But just with what I want to do, and I don't really ever plan on getting, besides like having hatchlings or babies, you know what I mean? I don't really plan on ever going around more than 60 or 70 snakes. Like, I just want to keep it to where I can ride it and be happy and still have time for everything.
If you count all my hatchlings and the stuff that's in the smaller tubs, I'm right around 80 right now.
See, that's a comfortable number to me.
Yeah, I manage this. I do have my boys help me on water change days. More of just like, I can do it by myself, but like I just have them help because it's part of the family business, you know, and
right.
And then they get used to the animals by doing all that. But yeah, I mean, this
You're
number.
You're nicer than me. I make them hold the shitty snakes.
Yeah.
Like, here, it's dirty. I got to clean its enclosure. Hold this real quick. I'm going to clean the enclosure. Okay. Now go put it in that bath and clean it off.
Yeah, my boys help me with a lot of that stuff. But, man, I can easily manage my collection right now by myself. So I'm one of those guys that I'll go over my limit and then back it back down, you know? So I'm still waiting to see where my top out is. But I think the real limit of everything is not so much what you got in your racks, but like when you start producing clutches, that's when you're going to be really tested. Like when you start getting into 60 and 70 clutches, you know, like that's a lot of babies, you know, like, whoa, baby season's here, you know.
When you either have to get help or the families, and well, I mean, you have your own crew there.
Yeah.
But mine are all still a little too young for that. I mean, I can have them hold stuff, but even my oldest, like I give him our 4,000 gram ball python, and he's just like struggling. You know what I mean? Like,
hey, you know what I use is I have the Cocoa Block shaker, which has an FB90 underneath it. I put everything in there, so that's like my little holding tank for all the snakes when I'm doing whatever in their cage, and then I pull them back out.
So, you brought it up. I'm a RETICULATED guy. Actually, the code for RETICULATED's always in the description below. So forget your Cocoa Block. No, I'm just kidding. How did you this short time in the industry? How did you set that up? If you're willing to divulge that, like, what would you say your practice is to reach out to a company and really push it?
So I tried all the major coconut ones, you know, and then I personally like Cocoa Blocks, and then they're also local-ish to me. They're about 3 hours north of me, somewhere in there. And so I just hit up Jesse, man, and just asked him, you know, hey, you got anyone that distributes in Bakersfield? You know, because I know Jimmy does, but that's 2 hours away from me. You know what I mean? So that's a long drive, you know. And he said no. So just one thing led to another. And but hey, I just want to put this out there too. I do distribute Cocoa Blocks, but I don't work for Freedom Breeder. So I do get these messages about like tubs and racks and stuff sometimes. And I'm like, dude, I don't work for Freedom Breeder. I don't have no idea about that stuff. You know what I mean? So just putting that out there for everyone that's listening. I don't work for Freedom Breeder. I don't know.
That will actually happen, Jerome. I go out there all the time. The issue is I go out there when there's shows, because Cali's a all-day flight for me coming out of El Paso, because for me to go to California, I have to fly to like Oklahoma or like Tennessee and then fly back
Oh,
because I'm
wow.
cheap and I won't do that first class one way.
Yeah.
So I fly all day. So it's easier for me to just pack the family in a vehicle and drive because it's the same amount of time, essentially. And then they get to do something and we all enjoy ourselves. But yeah, another Cali trip will be in the works. I'm waiting to hear from Rami. I know the January show got canceled, unfortunately, which sucks. I love the super shows, man. And like the person that I bought the majority of my ball python collection is actually in your area. It's Todd and Jody from Unbelievables.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
So that's where the majority of my stuff comes from. And they've been family since I freaking started. Like when my kids were babies and we were at those shows, they were letting me go behind the booth and change diapers so that I could do my YouTube stuff and do my shows while they were hanging out with the family. And eventually they'll be on this channel, but
yeah, they're cool people.
I don't want to do it
cool
too close to
that Zoom
Cusco.
call on Cusco's with them, that was cool.
I love it. That's the first one. I was like, they brought my family and I gotta go in now.
Yeah. Yeah, man. Hit me up whenever you come. Speaking of the super show, this is my kind of luck, So like, I actually won a family 4-pack to super show, right? Like I actually won the free tickets, but every show since I won the tickets has been canceled for COVID. So I'm sitting on 4 tickets.
It's your fault, Shane. It's your fault. This is why you don't vote for the guy. He's freaking keeping the super shows out of California.
Man, I was like, so then they advertised the Anaheim one like it was going to happen in January. And I was like, I don't think it's going to happen, but I hope it does so I can use my family 4-pack, And,
what are you going to do with the other 4 kids, though?
Well, all the other kids are older and they're out.
Oh, okay.
So I have my 2 younger ones, and then all the other ones are adultish on up, One's in college, and and they have their own kids now and stuff too. So, yeah. I'm just an old grandpa,
There's nothing wrong with that.
Nah.
I'll get there. I mean, the gray's already coming in, so I guess I'm closer than I think, but
yeah, it happens quick, man. I turned 30, I started going bald and getting chubby, and then 40, man, it all started graying out and stuff. Yeah.
It's not funny. It happened.
So
I started getting like this really bad thin spot right here, and I was like, I'm done. I'm just gonna shave it from now on.
So wait. Let's go back to the let's go back to the substrate, the cocoa. So obviously, me and you don't participate. We don't participate in the block wars. I would say, right? Like me and you are
not
friends.
The
I don't
block
care
wars. No.
Yeah,
well, we kind of do. Like we talk shit to each other just because we push different things, but
it's more like friendly banter, though. Yeah. But I have noticed some guys out there, they're like banging it like it's a gang and trash talking the other one. And like, I don't ever trash talk Reptile. You know what I mean? Like, and unless I'm like, me and you are making fun back and forth, but like, I will never trash talk Reptile as a brand. Right. You know what I mean? Like, I don't have any problems with their products or anything like that.
No, so, I like them all, man. So I went with Reptile because JT's a veteran and I'm a veteran, and that like he's based out of Texas. He's who I got face to face with first. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like I had the same opportunity with Jesse. I could have talked to Jesse at that same show, but me and JT were hanging out and we were talking about Army experience, and like you just, I think it kind of goes off of who you build that bond with. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, that's similar to what I said. I mean, I personally like Cocoa Blocks, and the company's local to me, and I'm a big supporter of like local, if it's possible. I mean, obviously, if there's no one in California, then I have to go somewhere else. But hey, I mean, whatever works. I mean, that was a lot of time and sacrifice bringing all those kids up, bald and gray.
How many does each kid have though is what I want to know. How many emails did you tell your kids to make like 10 emails a piece? So you instantly just got 20% of the vote no matter what?
Oh, honestly, I haven't even told my kids to vote yet. My older kids. I'm just banking all
Oh,
those.
you're holding it. You're pulling a fucking Biden is what you're doing.
I'm banking those kids, man. I voted, and I'll be real with you. When we had like the first poll that was only there for a day, and then we, whatever, I like woke up in the morning. Somebody had messaged me like, "Hey, the polls are open." So I'm in bed in the dark, like pushing it, like I'm all right, full tilt, vote now, like sharing it everywhere.
To be honest, I didn't see it when Chris posted it. I saw it when you posted it.
See?
And it's because I've been talking so much shit to you. Like, I hope you're ready. We're going to fucking do this. I hope you're ready. I was talking so much shit. As soon as you posted it, it was like right at the top of my news feed. And I was like, fuck. He's already got it out. Here we go.
And, I didn't think to ask Chris because remember when we did the debate, he said, okay, this will be out tomorrow. But it popped up an hour later or whatever. So I was like, oh, he's dropping it early. So I figured the same thing he was doing with the polls. It was like he was just dropping it.
You're the one that ruined the fucking polls. I lost like 10% of the vote because of you.
I went on full tilt, man. I was like, share, post here, post there, Oh, but yeah, that first time I voted. I voted for Jamie Cadil. I was like, I'm gonna give my girl a vote, and then those votes didn't count. So now I haven't voted yet. I still haven't even voted yet. So I'm banking. I got me and the kids.
You want to flip a coin?
No, you won the last flip in the coin. You got to vote. That was pretty cool, though. I was like, oh, that's cool that they're flipping a coin for us.
That was badass.
I love both those guys. So.
Oh yeah, Bradley and Zach are freaking amazing dudes.
Yeah.
Definitely known Zach a lot longer, and I'm a lot closer with him. But I'm getting to know Bradley better now, and he's just a wholesome dude, man. Like, and what they're building on their new podcast is freaking amazing. So,
yeah.
If you guys don't get a hold of Zach right now, you can't post the link, unfortunately, because I turn all that off. But Zach, if you want to throw your channel name out, just so everyone that's here can see it, and hopefully jump on that. I am going to say, as much as I hate it because Shane's above me and everyone's probably on Shane anyways, but if you're not on Small Town Xotics YouTube, go give the man some love. He deserves it. He does some great stuff, puts out a lot more videos than I do. Xotics with an X.
Yeah.
There's no E.
Yeah. But, I met Zach and Bradley from Cusco through Cusco's Discord and his whole Patreon. So, I mean, that's part of the thing too, like reaching out
it's still open.
And just you got to like participate and be active on all these different platforms, and then it just keeps. It's like a chain effect, it just like keeps happening.
You're snowballing. You're snowballing everywhere.
Like, woo, woo, woo. Yeah, and I'm so glad I joined that Patreon, man. I mean, Cusco's a righteous dude, you know that, but I actually didn't. I knew of his Patreon, but I didn't join it until I went over and hung out with them, and like we filmed videos with each other and stuff while I was at his house, and I was like, man, this guy's a genuine good guy.
Like I tell this story a lot, but the specific point that I want to make on this is, one, he'll treat you like family, but two, his kids, man, like they're all around the same age as mine. So like I hadn't been with my family for I think like a week, almost 2 weeks. And I went out there and I did that whole California tour in like 2 days, right?
Mm-hmm.
And Eli, first thing in the morning, like me and his dad, like me and Brian fucking fell asleep watching Aquaman on the computer because we were done after filming, and we were like talking about what we wanted to do and eating our In-N-Out, and we just fell asleep. And then I came to, I was like, well, I'm going to go lay down in the bed that he gave me.
Yeah.
And so I go to the spare room and lay down in the bed, and I wake up like 3 or 4 hours later to Eli just walking in like, and just hugging the hell out of me first thing in the morning, dude. I was like, oh, it just reminded me of my kids and like how they enter the room, and it was amazing, man. Like I love that whole family. I don't give them enough props for who they are, how they handle themselves.
Yeah, big shout out to the Cuscos. Yeah, I love him too. Brian's a solid guy.
And he's always pushing me. Like if I start slipping up, he'll be like, "What are you doing? Come on, get back to it. I thought you wanted to be about this life."
Yeah, you know what I like
He's
about
a good guy.
Brian?
He'll always push you.
What I like about Brian is like I'll ask him, you know, YouTube type questions, and he doesn't come straight out and just give you the answer. He like points me in the direction, so I have to do some work to get it. You know what I mean? And like if you don't know this, I'm a little obsessive about stuff. So like you send me down that path, and I'm like down this giant rabbit hole, fucking research and everything. So I end up learning a lot more than what the answer to my original question would have been. You know what I mean? So that's kind of what I appreciate about Brian too. He's like, oh, check this out. And then, man, I end up learning a whole ton. Yeah.
That's awesome. I forgot where I wanted to go with this. We got started like promoting everybody else.
Yeah. Well,
everyone's been waiting for this fight all night. I'm sorry, guys. I'm going to tell you right now, it's not going to happen. We're too close at this point, and we made an agreement that we won't fight on camera. It'll be mud wrestling later on.
I'm down for Jello wrestling too. You know?
I mean, I'll shove some. Never mind.
Right,
we're not going there.
No shoving nothing nowhere.
I'm shoving Jello where it can't be seen.
Yeah, I'm not going to fight you on your channel, man. I mean, come on. So I would like to
That's
say,
where the fun is. Like, all the viewers are from your channel. What are you worried about? I did this so you would bring me fucking clout. What are you talking about, sir?
Nah, so I think we agreed in the beginning. I try to run a clean race. I mean, we did whatever on the debate for whatever, but you know.
I gave Corey more shit than I gave you on the debate. The only thing I made a comment about was your 8 kids.
Yeah.
Like, you live in complete chaos. Why should we vote for you?
Hey, my 8 kids can come jump you and beat you up themselves. I don't have to do nothing, you know. I got kids that are married and stuff too, you know. So like, there's more than like I have more kids than the 8 because now they have their own families and stuff. There's a whole ton of them. But
we could put it in a Jello bowl and then we could thumb wrestle.
All right,
and then it's Jello wrestling.
Yeah, I got 2 messed up hands. I got ulnar nerve injuries on both hands, man.
That's fine because I have partial paralysis in both hands.
Oh, all right. Then we're good. Handicap versus handicap. Yeah. So where do you see your business going over, say, the next 10 years? Like, what's your goal?
10 years. I will be out of El Paso, more than likely in northern Texas. And then I'll probably be sitting, like I said, probably around 60 snakes. Probably 50 of which I'll be breeding. But I don't hate you at all.
Hi, Alyssa.
I don't hate anyone on here. I just don't. I try not to look at the comments too much because I'll get lost in the comments. So if I'm not responding to you, that's why. I apologize.
I can't see the comments or else I'd respond to you.
Well, that's your fault if you would do it on something besides the phone. I'm just kidding.
Well,
see, he won't even put in the time and the effort to do this on a laptop and give you guys the quality that you deserve. That's why you should. No, I'm just kidding.
Man, so I like doing it from a laptop on my end, but man, the MacBook Air built-in camera sucks.
It does.
It just sucks.
This is the MacBook Pro or the MacBook Pro, and it still sucks. Like I want to hook up my DSLR.
Yeah.
But I just got to figure out what all I need to do and how I need to feed it so that it doesn't act all crazy. I just haven't taken the steps yet.
Yeah. I think so I have an iPhone 11 Pro Max. I think it's a better video quality for like the facing camera.
It's definitely a lot clearer than mine, sir.
But
yeah, I'll be at like probably 50 breeding animals. I do plan on doing probably 1 or 2 RETIC clutches throughout my lifetime just to have the experience. And then I'm probably gonna go kind of heavy into king snakes as well, because I just really enjoy them now. Now that I've been raising them up and messing with them, so I'll have king snakes and ball pythons that I breed, and everything else will be for fun. And granted, that's my idea, but we all know ourselves in the hobby, and if I can handle more, I probably will push myself to handle more.
Yeah, that's the spirit. That's what I'm talking about.
But Mama's watching, so I'm gonna stop at 60.
So when I got the beaded lizard, I was like, man, I'm gonna get the beaded lizard. So it's a mascot, and I won't ever want to breed it. But now I'm already having crazy ideas like, how about we cross a beaded and a Gila monster? You know, like I don't think it's ever been done. They should be compatible, right?
Right.
What would happen? So I'm thinking like, you know, I've already brought it up to Alyssa from Full Throttle. Like, man, we should breed these things together, man. Let's see what happens. Make some beaded monsters or something. You know, they could be crazy. Could come out like Godzilla or something. And I'm sure there's some purist somewhere, some like.
Oh, you're gonna get hell from this. Like once they see it, you're gonna get hell.
Oh yeah, I'm sure there's a purist.
But to be fair, like people were blowing up over a burn ball like 2 days ago.
The lines and the localities and I don't know, man. Hey, you know what? If you don't like it, don't buy one of the offspring. That's all I can say about it, you know. But
I mean, so I understand both facts just because of like the super dwarf stuff. And now that I'm in it, I'm very okay. It needs to be a specific locality. You don't intermix localities. So I understand both sides of it, but it depends on what you're doing with it. Like if you only plan on breeding it one time just to see what'll happen, and you just want to get rid of them, they're essentially the same animal. So I don't see where there would be a problem. But
yeah, I mean,
it's definitely going to bring that hate eventually.
A one-off clutch I don't think isn't that big of a deal, and it's not like you contaminated the parents or something. I mean, when you separate them and they go off to breed back with what they're supposed to breed to, they're still pure. You know what I mean? So
no, it's just like in humans. Once you do that action, it's over. Like they're with you forever. Come on.
Yeah.
Like if snakes can hold sperm for 2 years, what makes you think that mom isn't going to be? I don't know. I'm rambling right now. I'm sorry.
Well, it could, but yeah, man, the beetle lizard, man, that was a good one for me. Something different that has legs.
I like it.
Man, they're like dinosaurs, dude. I mean, and they're like all the temps and everything's similar to a ball python, so I just keep it like it's real easy for me to keep. You know, that was a big factor in why I chose the beaded lizard, you know, because I can keep it in the ball python room, similar temps, humidity, and like, man, they're like dinosaurs. They're pretty cool. Yeah, something different. I'm actually getting ready to get a different enclosure. I need to upgrade him. He's growing pretty quick, man.
What's he in right now? A 40 or a 70?
He is in a glass aquarium right now, actually.
Oh shit, that tells you how many times I've watched your beaded lizard videos.
Yeah, well, I haven't upgraded them. So you know, when you see something every day, you don't really realize how much it's grown. But then one day I was like, man, his water bowl is looking kind of small. You can't, you know, and then I was like, wait a second, that water bowl was what he was transported in. You know what I mean? Like he used to fit head to tail in that water bowl, and now he's like all the way across it with just his belly in it. I'm like, yeah, he's growing a little bit, man. It's time to upgrade him. So I'm actually there's a local guy, LA guy, that makes enclosures, so I'm waiting on him. He's gonna make me an enclosure, but he has some family stuff come up. So Oasis exotic enclosures, pretty cool. I'm gonna get one of his and try his out, and I'll eventually need a bigger one, like a 4-footer one for him. So Shane can't come to the dark side. What kind of dark side? Like blackhead stuff, or?
No, he's saying come to the dark side with hybrids.
Oh yeah, I'm telling you, man. I think a Gila, a beaded monster, would be a cool pet. I think.
What would you call that?
I don't know.
A Godzilla.
Yeah, I mean, you could have Godzilla-looking things. You know, who knows? I think that really.
I think that would be more like an iguana and a beaded lizard mixture.
Oh man, that would be sick. That would be Godzilla.
And now I'm see what you did. Now I'm gonna get hate because I made a fucking comment saying we should breed a iguana and a beaded lizard, and John said that, so it must be factual.
Well, you could breed boas with anacondas too, right? It's been done. I think they should make IMG anacondas. Why not? But somebody's getting mad at me somewhere for speaking heresy, blasphemy.
You'll always have problems somewhere with that.
These are just the kind of things that roll around in my brain. I don't have IMG boas or anacondas, and I probably never will. I don't know, but I won't say never. But
so, if you could contribute one thing to your success so far, because you've only been in a year and a half, a little over a year and a half, what would you say is the greatest factor in your success so far?
Consistency. Like consistently grinding day in, day out. Like whatever your goal is, if you're working YouTube or Instagram, whatever it is, set your goals. Like if it's 1 video a week, 2 videos a week, a daily post, all that stuff, do it day in, day out, regardless. I mean, just work at it. And that's all it is, really. Staying consistent. That's like, yeah, that helps you with the algorithms and all that stuff more than like, fancy hashtags and all that stuff. It's more about just consistently. And then the more you do it, the better you'll become and the more comfortable you become. And
my hashtags will make my video go viral, damn it. Yeah. I don't know what you're talking about.
Hey, I mean, I'm not saying that it won't happen, but that's more like winning the lottery. You know what I mean? Like actually getting steady growth of people that actually like I'm real into like looking at the subscriber count and the view count too. Like if you have 200 or 1 million subscribers, but your videos are only pulling like 3,000 views, man, there's a disconnect,
Mm-hmm.
So I like to try to look at that on the channels. It's not really everyone looks at subscribers, but it's more about views and how much of your audience is actually watching your video.
As far as YouTube, yes, absolutely. Like subscriber only counts to get monetized. Like once you break 1,000, your subscriber count doesn't fucking matter anymore.
Yeah.
It is literally how many times are you watching from start to end? And if you don't watch it from start to end, do you click onto another channel because I added this card or I added this or that? Or do you watch another one of my videos? And luckily I have people that I guess give 2 shits about me because my average watch rate is like, I think it's like 2 videos per watch. So
yeah. Well,
it's not great, but it's not bad. You know what I mean?
I think fellow YouTube creators. So like when I watch somebody's video, I always thumbs up it. I always watch it from start to end. And most of the time I comment. It depends on where I'm watching it at though. I mean, sometimes I'm streaming from an iPad to my bedroom TV. So like it's hard to comment when I'm doing it over there. But yeah, like I always watch from start to finish and, there's like etiquette,
It's fucked up, man. Like I know what it takes to edit a video and to shoot that video. I'm not gonna. I don't know. That's just me though. And I talked about that to Nava. I was like, dude, even if I don't enjoy the video, like even if I hate that video, as bad as this sounds, I will literally hit the like. I will write a comment on that video and I will watch it all the way through. And then I'm going to text that person later and be like, your video is a piece of shit. Don't do that again.
Yeah. Yeah.
Make something better. But I'm going to at least support them on the platform so they grow in that algorithm. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And
yeah.
I'd rather be that guy where if I'm going to say, hey, I didn't enjoy your video, I'm not going to put it out in public. Like I said, I was in the Army and you don't out a person in public. You talk to them man to man.
Yeah.
And that's just the way it should be. But unless we're in our Snakes in the Fat Man group, then I like to call shit out on Chris just to see how he'll react. But that's because he fucked with me. This motherfucker will literally text me in the middle of my lives to see how I react.
I was never mind. I'm not even gonna go there. Did you notice how I misspelled your name on purpose somewhere today too? I was like, oh,
yeah, you did it today. I noticed because you spelled it the exact same way fucking Chris does, and I was like, this motherfucker, he's doing it to fuck with me.
Yeah, like
All right.
Feely.
You're not getting it today. You're not getting it today. You see, you're getting me worked up. I'm fucking turning red and shit.
So, what would you say is your biggest factor, like, for your success?
Just being real. My consistency, in all honesty, fucking sucks. I've done really well the past couple of months. Just being real. Like, what you see is what you get, regardless of what time we're talking. You know what I mean? Like, you could talk to anyone in the chat right now, and the same way I talk to you is the same way I talk to them, is the same way I talk to their child, which probably isn't necessarily the best way, but that's who I am, and that's the way I was brought up. And
yeah,
that's the way I'm going to continue to be. So,
yeah. Well, that's the premise to my channel too. So, just transparency and just being real. I do watch my language on my channel though, because I do have my my kids. One of my kids, since all the school's online now, they watch some of the clutch cutting videos I do and stuff as like part of their biology and science class and stuff. So I try not to. I know I do cuss every now and then, but I try not to cuss on my channel. So if you talk to me on the phone or in person, I'm the same guy on my YouTube channel with just a lot more cuss words in real life, you know? That's all.
He's a fake. No, I'm just kidding. No. But yeah, that's the nice thing about editing too. And I really could edit all my curse words out, but I don't see the point. Like, I don't have it marked as a child's video. You know what I mean? It's not like I'm trying to build.
Yeah.
Because so like my YouTube was literally created to work on my PTSD. And then once I decided that I was going to breed snakes, I was like, well, this is my free marketing. Like, who else is going to let me have all this airtime and not have to pay for it? You know what I mean? So you're going to see who I am. And if you don't like it, then you don't like it. You don't buy from me. If you like it and you like who I am, then cool. You'll buy from me. But this gives me my archive and like kind of shows me going from like that completely shut down person to, I wouldn't say I'm the fucking social butterfly I was in like high school or anything again, but I'm getting a lot better than I was.
Yeah. Yeah, man, you do a good job. I've been watching your channel for a while. Since yeah, you do a good job, bro. You do a good job.
Good job.
Yeah, I've been watching your channel and all the different stuff you do. I kind of
it's all over the place, man.
I know
that's the other thing I have an issue with. Like, I have too many interests, and they all like eventually they all just kind of collide into it.
Yeah. Yeah, I've experimented with my channel, and like the views will tell you. I mean, if your audience likes it or not. So I learned my place with my channel and try to keep the main theme of the ball python business going. But sometimes there's a little divergent stuff here and there. But that's probably some good advice for all the people that want to start YouTubes, man, is you just do it and you put out whatever kind of videos in the beginning and you'll find like whatever you're comfortable with, and then you just roll with it. Like I learned I'm not the science guy, and I'm not gonna sit here and explain to you how, you know, genetics works, you know, and all that. Like I'll give you just the basic rundown, but I'm not the guy that like breaks out like Punnett squares and explains the banana sex link. That's just not my thing, man. Like not even in real life. I'm just not like that. You know what I mean? And that comes across on camera. So everyone has their own little niche, and then you just find it and go. So
I love it, man. So you guys, I'm gonna start getting this going.
Are you starting a fight right now?
No, I'm not starting a fight. You want to fight?
No,
we can fight. I'm like 3 beers in. We could fight. I won't feel a thing.
Why do you think you deserve your own episode on Snakes and the Fat Man?
Because I'm John fucking Feely. No.
Good answer. Good answer.
No, because I'm the same as you. I like I think I put out my story, but I don't put it out in entirety because I want people left wanting more and a reason to approach me.
Yeah.
And the way you market it yourself is really freaking smart, man. We are exactly 1 week into voting at this time. So it is, well, technically it's been 8 days because we had that day of pre-votes that didn't count / did count.
Did they count?
I think some of them did, because there's no way I had like over 20% of the vote after they fixed that. Because as soon as I put that link out, probably 30% of who I knew was going to vote for me showed me that they had already voted and they didn't go back and vote again. So it's got to be holding. Some of it's got to be holding. You know what I mean? Maybe they just made that timeline. I don't know. But we got 2 more weeks. The voting ends on the 21st. Get out to your friends. Get out to people that don't like snakes. Tell them to look at Shane's videos. Tell them to look at my videos. Tell them to look at everyone else in the contest. If they want extra put out, then they can do it right now, or they can come on my channel and we'll do an interview just like we're doing right now. It's a great time. It's been a great experience. Shane, there's a lot that we didn't touch tonight. We were just having a good time, kind of promoting it and getting to know each other better, which I thank you for. You're an outstanding dude. I think you're going to do great things in this community. Not that you haven't already. I mean, who the fuck hatches a Batman on, or more than one Batman their first
4,
year?
baby. 4.
Their
Just
first
like
year. Like that's
4.
fucking unheard of. But
Hey, but you know what's
I'm
good
proud
about
of you,
so
man.
in the back of my head, what's good about the contest is I think Snakes and the Fat Man, and I said bullshit earlier too. Both of those podcasts were very influential and inspirational to me. So to me, promoting this contest and helping Chris build up a bigger presence on Instagram and stuff is like my reward. You know what I mean?
Right.
Whether I win or lose or whatever, I'm still bringing. You know, we're all bringing as a group, just bringing promotion to the podcast. Because there's a lot of great guests on that podcast, man. If anyone goes back and listens to all that stuff, man, there is so much knowledge between all the guests he's had on throughout time, you know? So much knowledge out there. So I know YouTube's like the king of all that stuff, but a simple audio podcast has a ton of information too. So
And it's
big
nice
shout out to Chris
when you're
Snakes and the Fat Man.
driving a lot. I'll tell you that. Like, I didn't live off of music when I was a truck driver. I lived off of podcasts because that was the only way I was getting news or information or anything. So.
Yeah. And you know, a bonus for me is now I get to play Chris's music on my channel, man. Woo! Yeah. Yeah. Some junkies and thieves on there. Man.
Yeah. So Shane, send it out, brother. You know how to close them out.
Man, big shout out to everyone in the comments, everyone that watched us all night long. Definitely go check out Fealys Instagram and all that stuff. If you happen to stumble across the YouTube channel and don't know he has other platforms, everyone go vote. It doesn't matter if you vote for me or Feely. Vote for anyone in the Snakes and the Fat Man contest. Everyone in there is a good group. Go give Chris and Snakes and the Fat Man a follow on Instagram, a like on Facebook, subscribe to his YouTube channel. He's going to be more active and posting the podcast on YouTube as well. And if you want, go check out my stuff too. I'm out there somewhere too. So thank you, everyone. Rock on. Back to you, Feely.
All right, you guys. You've seen it. Since he won't fucking self-promote, go check out Small Town Xotics with an X, no E. Check out Shane. Remember that Shane is lame. As much as that hurts my heart to say, because
Shane
I know what it counts for. Y'all have a great night. Thanks for hanging out with us. Next week, we will have another contestant from this 15 Minutes of Lame contest, Miss Corey Martin. So make sure you come back next Monday to check that out. Love y'all. Thank you for joining. You have a great night.